Well, I'm looking at Beacon Hill Park. I thought I'd go out for a different kind of walk today. So I'm in a different area. And I'm going to get the bus home, stop at a supermarket, and get some things. Very dry out there. We're at the end of August. Pretty darn dry. The ever-present smell of marijuana in the air. That spells summer in Victoria. Actually, it spells every ding-dong day in Victoria. Well, it's legal here. Pretty flowers. Ooh. Those are beautiful. Really. Getting to the end of their peak. We love our flowers here in Victoria. And so I haven't been down by the old bus depot since it's been torn down. This is what happens when you live on the outskirts. You miss out on all the different things happening in town. But, oh, there's changes. Well, hello. Coming to you from John's car, downtown Victoria, Quadra Street, as a matter of fact. And how come this is cutting off my chin? So it's a warm day, and I thought I would tell people about the first time I went to United States, or as we call it in Canada, the States. You might call it America. We're North America too, so this is when I was 15 years old. About a month away from, well, not month, 3 months away from my birthday, turning 16. And we decided to go to Disneyland, family trip. Never had been in the States before. So we decided to drive down on the PCH and just sort of have a wonderful trip, see what we could see, enjoy Disneyland, go to the NBC studios in Burbank, and see the, what is it called? Is it the NBC tour? Anyway, the movie tour. So we start off, and of course, you got to understand, I'm this young girl who loves the movies, not just people of that era, but old stuff too, like old movie stars. Had pictures of them on my walls and stuff. So the States, to me, America is just, it's all Hollywood. That's what I thought it would be. So the moment we set foot, or set tire in, I think it was Port Angeles in Washington, I expected to feel different, to see movie stars in Port Angeles, Washington. We're talking about a teeny little town in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. But see, this is the way we think when you grow up watching the States on a TV set and you don't know what to expect. So we got over there. I'm peering and peering, looking for signs of movie stars. And we're traveling down, and I'm thinking, okay, this is interesting. And I noticed that Americans are, at least there, they seem very similar to us. Maybe a teeny bit more gregarious. But then that could have just been the people and not so much the, Americans as a whole. But we drive on, and we finally make it to Santa Barbara, where we finally get into our hotel, and there was a pool which we got into, and it was a record heat. It was a drought, but then it's always a drought in California, it seems to be. So we were there, and I was trying to talk to a stranger about where I was from, and that it was warm in Canada where I was from in summer, and he didn't believe it. So I guess he thought we had snow in July. Hey! Anyway, we were there around the 4th of July, and I remember seeing all these flags on the beach, and my mom and dad made me put on shorts to go on the beach. I was so self-conscious of my fat white legs. And let me tell you, I was a little over 100 pounds then than I am now. And I was worried about my legs then, and I'm not worried about them at all now. So, different attitude, different insecurities. Anyway, I did that, but I put on a hat and sunglasses too, because I thought in this town where nobody knows me that I should be incognito, because I'm showing my legs. This is what's going through a 15-year-old mind. Anyway, we walked around. We heard the fireworks go off. We had to get up early the next day so we can stay up. So we heard them go off in the middle of the night in our hotel room. Next day we drove down to Anaheim, where there was Disneyland. And Disneyland was amazing, very clean. The moment anything dropped, somebody picked it up. It was a very clean place. There was a lot of rah-rah Americana going on, which is a little annoying for a Canadian kid, but we just kind of brushed it off and saw the wonderful things we wanted to see. And I just loved it. I wanted somebody to hand me a credit card and just say, go for it, and just buy everything at Disneyland. I wanted all the souvenirs. Of course, I barely got anything because it was expensive. Not as expensive now, but it was expensive then. So we went, we had a wonderful time. We were going to spend a whole day, meaning the day and nighttime. And then we also went to the on the NBC studio tour, whereupon I saw two celebrities, not big celebrities, but Jack Klugman, and I don't know if you remember Gomez from the Addams Family, John Astin. I saw him. And if anybody doesn't know who John Astin is, he is the father of Sean Astin, who was in the Lord of the Rings movies. Anyway, I saw them. I thought, hey, wow, I'm seeing a celebrity. And we went to see where Johnny Carson used to film. At the time he was still filming. We're talking 1977 here. So, and I remember a person, a studio tour person, asking questions, and I would constantly answer his questions. and get everyone looking at me because I thought they were going to notice my talking, and they were going to say, wow, that girl is something special and she should be in Hollywood. She should be in movies, because I was talking to a studio tour. See, again, this is the mindset when you're a teenager. You think your chance to be a movie star is any place and everywhere in California, and you just milk that for all it's worth. But nothing happened. I think my parents were amazed at how loud and vocal their rather shy-ish daughter was. But yeah, I was just wanting to, be noticed. And so we also went on the studio tour where we could see where they filmed Jaws and all that, where you're on a tram and the mechanical shark jumps out at you and all this stuff. And on the way home, of course, I lost my glasses. And it would have been another month and a half, or at least, no, a month, before I'd get new glasses for school. But anyway, onwards. So we left California, and we're driving back. We went to Reno, Nevada, whereupon I got very cranky as a teenager because my parents wanted to go into the casinos, and my brother and I could do nothing. They don't let children into casinos. There was nothing for us to do. At one point, in a huff, I ran off from my mom and I grabbed my brother's hand and I said, let's go. And I walked down a very crowded sidewalk, and my mom raced after me and grabbed me by the hair, got a cab and said, you're going back to the hotel. You guys can go swim in the pool. If you're going to act up like this. I mean, she had it right. I mean, I could have gotten hurt. It was just being a typical stroppy teenager. And so that happened. We drove out of Reno the next day. Our car stalled in the heat. We had to get towed back into Reno and stay another night. And in the morning we were on our way. Went through the desert in the early morning. It was beautiful. I'd never been through a desert before. And where did we end up? Somewhere along the way, I had to tell my mother in front of my father and my brother that it was my period time, which is very kind of embarrassing to me at the time to have to say it in front of everybody, because I needed some napkins. And what happened is we stopped in this little town that was like out of a movie set. It was a desert. I found a cat that had like 6 toes on every foot. And there was an outhouse, and there was a store, and there were those rolling, what are they called? Those tumbleweeds. It was an actual desert town. And I had to go in to this quiet little place and just pick up a box of sanitary napkins that were circa 1969. I had to fasten a way for them to stay in my underwear. I always remember that. It was such an embarrassing time to say that in front of my dad. I mean, he knew I had them. It's just, at least in those days, you didn't talk about those things around your dad. So, but I remember we ended up going up, and we ended up at Crater Lake, Oregon, where in the the policeman on a horse asked where we're from, and we said Canada, and he says, "Oh yeah, you have an accent." I didn't think we had an accent, especially in Oregon, but I guess we do. But Oregon was really interesting. I mean, the Crater Lake was fascinating. But anyway, by and by we get home, and it was an interesting trip. I don't have this idea that Americans are all movie stars or almost movie stars. And I had my eyes opened, and it was interesting. I love United States. I love our government here better. I love Canada, but I also do love United States. And I noticed that people were a lot just louder and more gregarious and more say what's on their mind kind of people. And the waitresses were really working it. Like, they would be very flirty with my father, and there goes a motorcycle. And I mean, the service in the States was great. The people will really work hard for their money, and nobody really slept off. So those are things I remember. The accents, the strong Southern accents of a few women that I heard. I don't know. It was just a different thing for me. I'm a little sheltered Canadian girl. So we went through all that, came home. My boyfriend at the time was about to head off to a school trip to Europe. So we didn't see each other too much that summer. But it was an interesting summer. It was only a little bit after we got home that Elvis Presley passed away. That was a bit of a shock. But yeah, I just thought I'd recount my trip to the States and my first experience as a Canadian in the States. And I hope some of you found that interesting. Ooh. We were at Tequila. We're at Clover Point, and it's muy breezy.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time.
Okay, guys,
That's how you make it.
I'll be seeing you
Set a
again
goal
soon.
you control and the steps you take 'em. I try to pick one